I sat alone at the bar, slowly swirling the amber liquid in my untouched glass of whiskey, eyes locked on the entrance like a man bracing himself for a storm he knows is coming. My pulse thundered, not with fear, but with a twisted sense of anticipation. This was it. The night where everything would unravel. The night they'd finally see the truth. If someone had told me a year ago that my life would implode in one evening, I would have laughed it off. Back then, I thought I had it all. A loving girlfriend, friends I trusted like family, and a career that, while still in its early stages, was on the rise. Emily and I had been together for 3 years. We had dreams, long-term plans, and what I genuinely believed was a deep and unshakable connection. Everyone said we were the ideal couple. She was magnetic, outgoing, confident, the kind of woman who could command attention the moment she stepped into a room. Me. I was the quiet one, more content to watch from the sidelines than steal the spotlight. Maybe that's why people gravitated toward her more. Maybe that's why I missed the signs. It all came crashing down at a house party. One of those laid-back, beer-fueled nights where people pretend their lives aren't falling apart. Emily was acting off from the start, distant, distracted. I saw her whispering with her friend Lisa, trading glances that made my stomach twist. When I finally pulled her aside, she looked at me like she had been waiting for this exact moment. "I need to tell you something," she said, her tone saturated with fake sympathy. "I've been seeing someone else." For a moment, my mind just stopped. It didn't compute. She tilted her head, eyeing me with this twisted pity, like I was some sad little man clinging to something already gone. Then came the dagger. She said I wasn't enough. Not driven enough, not ambitious enough. She needed someone more real, whatever that meant. I didn't react at first. It was like the words bounced off a wall inside my head. But then she smirked. That smug, condescending smirk, like she had won some game, and I was just collateral damage. I looked around, searching for support, for even a hint of loyalty from the people I considered my closest friends. But all I saw were awkward stares and fidgeting hands. No one stepped in. No one said a word. Lisa, ever the loyal lapdog, finally piped up. "I mean, she kind of has a point, man." A laugh followed. A few reluctant nods. And just like that, I was the villain in my own heartbreak. I walked out that night without a word. Not because I was broken, but because I needed clarity. Time to think. Time to plot. Betrayal doesn't just hurt. It transforms you. Lying in bed that night, staring at the ceiling, something hardened inside me. They thought they'd seen the extent of what I could take. They hadn't seen anything yet. I began collecting information, quietly and methodically, about Emily's new man, Greg. The name alone sounded like a walking cliché. He worked in finance, acted like the world owed him something, and viewed women like status symbols. And the friends who stood by during my public humiliation? They hadn't been innocent bystanders. They knew. Maybe not everything, but enough. Enough to have warned me. I wasn't going to let them write the narrative while I sat in the background looking pitiful. My first step was small, but calculated. Emily and Greg loved showing off their so-called perfect relationship. She posted a photo of the two of them at a posh restaurant, captioned with something nauseating like, "A real man knows how to treat a woman." I made sure that post landed in the inbox of her boss. Emily had always been strategic about keeping our relationship under wraps at work. She believed in staying open to possibilities, as she once put it. But an affair, especially with the son of one of her company's key clients, that was a different beast altogether. Within days, there were whispers. 2 weeks later, she was called into a professional conduct meeting. Step 1 complete. Step 2 patience. The next move required a bit more finesse. My former circle, the ones who snickered as I was humiliated, they were obsessed with appearances. Success, influence, prestige. That was their currency. So, I arranged a little reunion. Same bar, same people. Only this time, I didn't show up broken. I walked in with confidence, exchanged a few nods, took my seat like I belonged. They weren't sure what to expect. Maybe another meltdown. But not this. Then Emily arrived, clinging to Greg's arm like a trophy. She wore that same smirk, already gearing up to throw some condescending jab. But I spoke before she could open her mouth. You might want to check your phone. She blinked. Her phone buzzed. Then Greg's. Then Lisa's. One by one their faces changed. From curious, to stunned, to horrified. I had sent them everything. Every screenshot, every message, every cruel little lie Emily had told me while pretending to love me. And Greg, he found out he wasn't the only side piece in her game. She had been seeing someone else behind his back too. Greg turned to her, his voice low but sharp. You told me I was the only one. Emily's face drained of color. Greg, He didn't wait. He pulled away like she was contagious. You're pathetic. And just like that, the tables turned. The same people who once mocked me were now looking at her like the fraud. She turned to me, fury in her eyes. You planned this, she hissed. I shrugged, took a sip of my whiskey. You always said I lacked drive. She stormed out. Lisa followed, eyes to the floor. And the rest? They just sat there, caught between shame and silence, realizing they had chosen the wrong side of the story. It wasn't easy after that. Betrayal doesn't just evaporate. It leaves marks, deep, lingering ones. But something changed in me that night. I learned that real justice doesn't scream. It waits. It watches. And when the time is right, it cuts sharper than rage ever could. Months later, I landed a better job, more money, more responsibility, and no one questioning my worth. Emily? Her reputation took a nosedive. Word spread. In her field, trust is everything, and suddenly people weren't so sure she deserved it. I heard she's been struggling to pick up the pieces, trying to rebuild. But that's not my concern anymore. Betrayal cuts deep. But there's nothing quite like proving you were never the fool. They were just blind to how far ahead you already were.